Hello, Shilpa, Vimiji. Corey screen is dark today. Okay. So, good morning and a very warm welcome. We've reached the end of our week already. It always flies by. So of course, today is Friday. Today is question and answer day. So if there is anything that you would like to ask about what we've been speaking about all week related to emotions, how to accept them better, how to somewhere be more aware of where the source of our emotions is, or what our emotion truly, what the emotion underlying the overwhelming feeling that we get from time to time really is, finding out whether it is our own emotion and whether it is the emotion that we are simply reacting to. So all of those things are things we've spoken about. Any questions you have, anything you would want to talk about further, any details you want about any aspect, now's your time to sort of ask that. So please go ahead and ask me if there's anything. I believe on the previous days, it was more of what are the things that are blocking people that were mentioned. There weren't too many questions, but there were lots of fear were there. Is there any questions, or I definitely want to do some releases as well today. Let's see, I'm just seeing who all are here. Okay. So if your questions do pop up first, I'll give you all a minute. Otherwise, I'm going to start with the release. Yes, Vimlaji.
The person is confused. What is the emotion they cannot find?
Mm-hmm.
And they do not know what to do.
Okay.
Totally blank. So what should be done?
See, the thing is, if you are feeling a certain emotion strong enough that you've at least had that awareness, right? Because awareness is big when we're talking about acceptance. Awareness is where the journey of acceptance begins. So if you're worried that, I don't know what the actual emotion is or what to do about it, because that is the bigger fear actually that is there. That, okay, even if I realize that, okay, this is really helplessness, this is really sorrow, it is my frustration at not knowing what to do with it, that might be keeping me away from even acknowledging that emotion. Because if I acknowledge it, I have to do something about it. Till I don't know only it exists. It's like not getting a blood test done, because till you don't know the problem is that you don't have to touch it. So just starting, which is why I told you all the simple tool, just start with how do I feel? Don't worry about getting to the root emotion. Don't worry about anything. You already know the tools of B, the tools of theta, right? Digging, or when we're doing a B process, all of those are adjacent to what we're speaking about. When we talk about, I'll just give me 1 minute, talk about getting to the root. So even if you go like, okay, how do I feel now? How am I feeling? And then simply saying, so it's a tool that everyone can do. Okay, otherwise B helps you unlayer emotions really quickly and you know that. But as a tool that everyone just now who's on the platform can do, you can go like, okay, how am I feeling just now? And you go like, I'm feeling blank also. That's also your response. Go with, okay, I feel blank and I accept and choose to heal it. Keep that narrative going. And if you can, at least do the karate chop with it. If you have the time, do a B round, just simply, going like, today this happened and now suddenly I'm just feeling blank. I know that I'm feeling a lot of things, but I can't even get to what I feel because I feel so blank. I still choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself and heal and integrate that part of me. Do a round of all that has come for you, and you know how you get all your messages after the round and how to join the dots. That'll take you definitely very quickly to what the root is. And other than that, simply even going like I feel blank and keeping that in your mind and just being with yourself for 5 minutes and then seeing if anything else is something that surfaces up for you. You had your hand raised. What did you have something to follow up?
Just in case if you want to help somebody, you are aware of the B rounds and everything. But anyone with you who is confused, cannot accept, and does not know what to do, how to help that person with you?
So see, with helping those around us, like we say, you can only help those that want to be helped. We one of the things that you will come across your journey as you learn to heal yourself, as you learn healing modalities, even more so. Now you know there is tools for this. Now you know that this amount of turmoil the person is going through emotionally, physically, is completely unnecessary. So it is then comes, so that's also one of our emotions that surfaces up at that point is helplessness. Because this is so unnecessary. I love you and I have to see you go through this when it could just be so much simpler. So one thing is, like sometimes a person might be open to it, they just don't know that there is an option. So in which case awareness really helps, letting them know about certain things. We're telling you guys, get people to the Daily Theta platform. Why? Simply because you could tell them everything in the world, but till they've not experienced it, they might be like, no, I don't know, all this healing doesn't work. But there's a topic going on and you go like, and just telling them, see, this is what they're talking about, or using, a pointer that was spoken about in the morning. In your discussions, when you're talking, when you're sitting for some time and going like, this is what they're talking on. It just made so much sense to me. Seeing if they come, because then you are not telling them something. It's not an ego hassle anymore, which happens with most of our near and dear ones. Now they're coming, if they resonate, they go like, okay, what's to be done? If not, the biggest tool of change is always when the change has happened within you, because that's like a self-advertisement. When there's enough change within you, it's like, telling somebody, let's go to the gym, it's a very nice gym, come to the gym with me, come to the gym with me. I'm telling you, going to the gym is very important, or eating healthy is very important. But now suddenly when you have completely shifted, your energy levels are really high, your strength has gone up, then you don't need to tell people about going to the gym or how your gym is so fantastic. They come and ask you, listen, you look fantastic. You have so much energy. Like, I know how you felt like, a few months back, and look at you, you have so much energy, you have so much energy for your age, your skin is glowing, whatever it is. What are you doing? So at the point where you become a self-advertisement, then it is almost seamless. The person around you will ask you, because you've built that authority because of the change you've created within yourself with the tools. They'll come and ask you, what are you doing? Or and you will see that, because we've all been through this journey. So even when we started, it's not like everyone in our family was like, oh yes, healing, we know that. People are like, listen, you do what you want. Don't experiment on us. You do what you want. But the minute they started seeing, oh wow, look at how confidently, this person is operating. There's so many people coming to them. They must be doing something right, no? People are not crazy to spend their money and come to you just like that. And I mean, my ethos is generally, I will tell people, like the concepts that excite me, I speak about them in conversation, but I never have any pressure. I have no interest in convincing you what I'm doing is good. I would just generally tell them and then be like, I mean, so I thought it was cool. You can think whatever you like. But at the point where they see, okay, there are that many people coming, they seem to be doing really well, they will come and ask you. So even in our family, like when we had just started, family members started with, oh, okay, because you're just talking about concepts randomly. You're not talking exactly when they're in the fix, and where you can tell you are telling me this because you want me to do it. And so, which is why we tell you, be like, share what knowledge you're getting happily, joyously, share it with the source, so that they can gain deeper from it. Share the YouTube link. They might look at it ages later. Share some where they're going to be open to it. Do not give unsolicited advice otherwise. Now, when you're sharing, so every third day when something cool you've heard, you're talking about at the dinner table, it is a very non-pressurized environment. We spoke about how even the universe doesn't respond to expectation. When the minute we have expectation, ego, all of those things get in the mix. Even about giving and receiving, we spoke about that. Even with happiness, the minute my expectation is attached to it, I know it's my birthday, I'm going to get gifts today. Now the thing is, now I'm like, I remember, like from a really good friend, it was my birthday, so you obviously go like, they know me so well. So this huge present and all, and I was so excited, and I love gifts. I opened it up and everything. And after I did that, there was a monopoly inside it. I was 25. I did not want a monopoly as a gift. Okay. And I was just like, and I mean, they're obviously like, looking at you like to have some reaction. I just couldn't do it. I'm just like, what were you thinking? Like I smiled and all in that moment, but then you don't come and ask me what did you think? Because then it's just like, you know me so well, and the best thing you thought to get was a monopoly. My friends don't even live here. Who am I going to play this with? There's so many nicer things you could have done. Who gets a 25-year-old a monopoly? So many people would get stuffed up, and you're like, listen, I'm this age. I'm being like, when you're nice the first time you get a stuffed up, like, oh yeah, this is cute. And then they think you like it, so they keep getting it. So now they're like, it's cute, but I have no use of it anymore. So get me something more useful if you must get something. So the thing is, at a certain point, whenever there's expectations, if you're going to tell them with expectation, or that this problem, and now you're sending them 5 links, nobody wants unsolicited advice. Even if they want to do it, now they don't want to do it. So when you're talking about it casually, and which is what we used to do when we went to class, we're like, this was really good. They said this, it got me thinking. Or today I was feeling this way, but now then I was thinking, I have no agenda. I'm just sharing my knowledge. And what happens then is organically, and that's how it's happened for us, for so many students, they'll come and say, listen, I'm having a really tough time with this deal I want to crack. You think this healing thing of yours would help? I mean, I don't think it will, but do you think it could? So then you know, I mean, I think it could. And you have no harm in sort of doing it. There's no side effects. You're only going to spend, an hour of your time, or you're going to, if the family are probably doing it with lower energy exchange as well. Are you open to it? I think you should do it. I really think it could work. We've heard so many cases of this. See if they're open to it. You will see family members come and tell you, yes, the other day your headache went away so fast. My head is really hurting. I've already taken Crocin, but I'm not feeling better. You think you could pass this healing thing that you do? They'll start completely, going like that, but slowly. And you also don't go with, oh my God, finally the Eureka moment has come. They've come to me. Just go like, sure, do it. They feel better, and they might not even give you complete acknowledgement. Still, you want validation. You might struggle with it. The minute you are just happy to, sort of see that there's shit, you will see it come to you a lot more. And then slowly, these same people go ahead and tell another 5 people. Last time I went, I had a headache. She did something and I felt really better. I think you should ask her what. I don't know what she does, but I think you should ask her. Last time this deal was stuck, and I don't know, she was doing something like this with me. She asked me a few questions. Then it actually went through. We've seen those same people become our biggest propagators. For us, it happened with, say, maybe my dad and all, who were they were supportive of us learning, but they were never, like, oh, wow, what is this? Which completely shifted. I've had students who've had their mother-in-laws. So that's a tougher audience as per norm to sort of, convince, because this daughter-in-law who used to sit, and proper Marwadi family used to sit and, give chai to her in the afternoon, and, do a number of things during the day and check if she was okay. That time all classes were in person. So you're gone by 9 in the morning, you come back by 7 or 8. Now suddenly, she's gone. So of course it's not something they're huge fans of. But the minute you become the advertisement, or you leave the expectation to it at least, you will see, like, she started telling all the guests that were coming into their house, अरे वो बहुत अच्छा करती है, वो कुछ तो करती है लेकिन बहुत अच्छा करती है. Everyone asked for a scan because she'd done a random scan for mother-in-law when she wasn't well, and it was very accurate. And her mother-in-law basically just shifted something in her mind at that point. These people suddenly go like, no, this is the you go, I will handle the house. So do that really, and where it is really bothering you, work on your helplessness that you feel in that situation or your expectation of it. The minute you do that, the other two parts that we've spoken about will come a little easier, because it always hurts to see someone we love in a fix. So first work on how it makes you feel. How does it make me feel when they're going through this? When they're going through this and I can't do anything about it. We also have to respect, you guys, that everyone is on their own journey. They will learn at their own time. And if the universe, if the creator of all that is, can respect that and give us that time, we have to give it to the people around us. But sometimes it's just awareness that's missing. There are a lot of people who I did not think would be open to it. But when we're just talking about it, they're like, I'd love to do it sometime. I'd love to experience it sometime. They just didn't know there was an option where they could maybe non-medically heal something, or there was an option where they could get rid of a certain toxic pattern. Because everyone told them, you have this pattern, you just got to learn to accept it. So awareness, releasing expectation, and becoming the testimonial. 3 things. But the first step to all of those things, the pre-step is you being very at ease at what you're doing. You're happy with doing what you're doing. You release the helplessness, release the sorrow, and automatically things flow. Yeah. Okay. So Anusha, can you come in next, because I'm not reading it. If you can just sort of share it, that would be easier. So May, can you unmute Anusha? Don't know where she is. Okay, her screen is also blank. Are you there, Anusha? So, hello. Oh, she wrote she's traveling. So I don't know if she's going to be able to hear what we have to say. So I'll read what she's written. Handling kids 3 years and 5 years, handling kids of 3 years and 5 years old, how to keep myself calm. I want to love, protect both and do right by both, but both having small gap want me, and it gets tough at times to stay calm. If I choose one, other feels insecure and not loved. I don't know how to make them feel I'm there for both. Traveling issues, okay. I find it hard to set boundaries with kids and say no. I feel somewhere that may be an issue. Okay. So first things first, give yourself a break. No, like, let that pressure get off your head, because mom guilt is a very real thing. Every single mother on the planet feels it, no matter how perfect she may or may not be. Every single mother feels mom guilt at a certain point, where they're questioning if they've done enough, whether they could do something differently, whether they should do something better. It is a very natural emotion. So first thing, when you accept it, it takes part of a lot of it. Second thing, I have kids with a small age gap as well. They're 1.5 years apart. As stressed as I was about it, when I got into the journey, the one thing I've realized, and it's still a challenge on some days, but the best thing you can do with siblings that are in a close age gap is have them do activities together where you're not forcing them to be together, but do activities that involve the both of them. Set up stuff that has things for the both of them, whether that's a little sensory play, whether that's anything, where they can do the activity and they can do their free play and you have some time to yourself. See where is it that you're struggling with setting boundaries. I can tell you a lot about the kind of activities they can do. I'll tell you that personally. But this thing, where are you struggling to set boundaries? So when you are struggling to set boundaries, see why is that. I don't think you've learned B or something, but so which is why I'll tell you the most generic thing that is what we've been discussing is, so when I'm unable to set boundaries, why is that? And how does that make me feel? So see what is it within your own conditioning, or what fear you have of, because a lot of times people also operate out of fear that when I'm going to set my foot down, there's going to be consequences to it. Why? And this thing, how does that make me feel? And if you can do the acceptance and healing cycle on that and run that a couple of times and see how you're doing, then that is something that would really help. But taking the time to recharge yourself, releasing that guilt, knowing that you're doing the best that you can, and allowing your mind to reset at that certain point is extremely essential for you to get to that point as well. Fear they won't love me anymore, and what if I'm not needed when they need me? So that is something you really really need to get rid of. You really need to work on for yourself, because this is a fear that is going to be there forever. This fear begins when you are pregnant. You're constantly worried if like if the doctor says one thing is off, you're worried if everything is all right, if you're doing enough, if you're eating healthy enough, if you're moving around enough, if your baby's growing enough, if you felt one kick or not. It starts from the time that you conceive a baby until the time you're alive. Because I mean, I'm sure the people here can testify to that. They're all at different age brackets. For those of you that have kids, do you worry about them or not? And did that worry stop when they became teenagers? Probably. Now you have a whole new set of things to worry about. Then when they have to settle down in life, when they're building their careers, that's a whole new set of things to worry about. Then comes a stage where they actually stop needing you, and that becomes a new spectrum of things to worry about. It's a part and parcel of being a mother, but you've got to know that you're the best mother they could ask for. They chose you. It is not by random coincidence that they happen to come to you. It was not a lucky draw. They very deliberately chose you. And every one of us is evolving. Every one of us is learning. So you do the best to be the best version of yourself and feel secure in the knowing that you are the best mother they could ask for. Okay. And the fear is what you need to release, that they won't love you anymore. Because what that could do is, a lot of times we have this notion as mothers. Okay. And this is something when we're explaining people, we tell people, we go like, oh, I want to help my child, If they ever need me, I'll help my child. I want to help my child. Now you tell me, who can you help? Can you help somebody who's completely empowered? Is it possible to help somebody who knows exactly what they want, who are completely healed, who are completely empowered? No. You go to a shop and somebody comes and asks you, madam, can I help you? Now, if you're looking for something, if you're not sure where it is, or if you're not sure what you want, sometimes I don't know what I want. Sometimes I know what I want, but I don't know where it's kept in the store. So then I'll tell them, yeah, can you tell me where this is? In that case, they could help me. But if now this is a store I go to I know exactly what I want. I know what I want to pick up and get out. And if that time someone comes thrice and tells me, madam, can I help you? Madam, can I help you? How many of us get annoyed? We're like, no, I know what I want. Just let me get it. Because you don't need their help, because you are completely empowered in the knowledge of what you want, from where you want, and how to get it. Now, when we constantly have this notion, this generally happens with moms and kids, but it could be in any relationship in your life. Moms, because they have this need to nurture their children, and you have nurtured your child for 9 months where they were completely dependent on you for food, nutrition, growth, everything at that certain point in time. I think, that's something that doesn't quite leave us right as the baby gets out a lot of times. And even if, and that doesn't mean that you're an obsessed mother, you could just be a mother who's very relaxed about it, but it could still be something that's a huge part of you. We have a nurturing instinct. And so many times, things that we ask for from the universe aren't quite right. So when we keep saying, I want to help my child, if they need my help, if they need me, I should be around. Now, what that might be doing is, now you can only help a person who's helpless. So as far as my bond with my child is concerned, my constant magnet or my constant frequency out is, I want to help you. I want to be there when you need me. So they obviously have to respond to that frequency. So what I invite and attract from this complete individual is the part of them that is helpless, is the part of them that's needy of a certain thing. Now, so many times you'll have young kids, 8-year-olds, where they're very chill talking about it, and it could be at any age. And you will see that, their mom who's doing everything, okay? Her job, her chores, everything is around this child's schedule because they love their child so much and that's something they're choosing or whatever it may be. Okay. And so she's there helping them 24/7 around them, etc. And then you have the dad who comes home from work, plays with them for half an hour, chills, watches TV with them, does masti, and then goes to sleep. They go to sleep or the dad goes to sleep. And so many times when you ask them, oh, who do you love more? They'll go like, Papa, Papa, Papa. And this mother is very hurt sitting there going like, I sit and do everything for you. He literally just comes and spoils you and watches TV with you and does masti with you. But still it's always Papa, Papa, Papa. Why? The father's receptor is of fun. I want to have fun with my child. So he connects to the fun part of the child. Child responds to the receptor that you have. Right? And now when I have this receptor, I have to help somebody, that child might be completely empowered in all areas of your life, but they will come to you and, Mama, I need help with this homework. Mama, I don't know what to do about this. Can't you even do this much for me? Because you've said, may I help you? So, if you have that representative standing there constantly with a may I help you tag, and then you ask them for help for 3 things, and if they take time to do that, if they do not know how to help you with that, you get frustrated. You're like, what are you here to help me with? You call a customer care executive, who says, Madam, how may I help you? Now you tell them, I have this problem. They're like, no, madam, I cannot help you with this. You're like, what use are you? Why am I calling you? At that point, you're not acknowledging the other things that they may be doing. So this sales rep who's standing there has organized the store so that it's easy for you to get what you need, has given you 2-3 fabulous recommendations. All those things are there. But because they couldn't help you with what you wanted, false advertising. You're saying, may I help you? And what are you helping me with? Nothing. And it's hurtful. Similarly, that mother who's doing everything, but because her receptor is that I have to be there if they need me, I have to help them. The minute your kids grow up, it becomes a huge thing to deal with because at a certain point, they probably do not need your help. B, it becomes a very need-based relationship. You have this fabulous individual that is there that could share so many fun memories with you. But because my receptor is of when they need me or if I need to help them, that has become the equation. And you also will, like we see so many of the moms have come in and they've grown resentful because they're like, no, kuch kaam hota hai, so they come to me. Other than that, they're in their own world. Then when they have anything fun to, they'll talk to their dad. But my importance is not there. That's because your receptor is for that. So change that because you're giving them a crutch. You're telling them this crutch is there constantly. So they will constantly rely on that crutch. The minute that I have to help them, I need to be around, is gone from your system, they will also become a lot more empowered individuals. They'll become whole individuals who know how to deal with life. I choose to help them. Yes. I have to help them. No. You don't have to do anything. I choose to help them. I choose to be there if they need me. Of course, there's not, I mean, we all would want to be around our kids if they need us. But make it your choice. Do not make it your compulsion, even at a mind level. So till the guilt is really there, and see, you're going to do everything best you can. And there'll still be times where you cannot really be there when they need you. Till that guilt is overruling you, you will have that mirror from everyone around you, everywhere around you. We get so many comments needlessly anyway, because every person has a different style. I made a reel about that. Just I've been learning how to make reels because I feel very passionately about this, understanding how to empower mothers, how to have a society that actually supports mothers to take the break that they need to do what they've got to do. Because there's so much guilt going on in their head anyway, and then hearing somebody else tell you that is where those mental breakdowns happen, is where you're like, no, I'm not a good mother, I'm not doing enough. I have realized, even though I know my journey is not long in this field, but because I've dealt with so many mothers, dealt with so many kids before I had kids or became a mom as well. And it's just something I feel very passionately about. The fear that they, will not love you anymore. I've realized that inherently a child knows you're their mother. Till we hold that fear, that can come back to us. I have kids and my husband asks them every day. He asks them in Gujarati, but like kiska bacha hai sort of a thing, oh, who, like, it's not directly who's your favorite, but like kono dikko kono, then he waits till they say his name. And then like the kind of thought, but honestly it doesn't bother me even one bit, because I don't know, for me I'm just like, they know I'm their mother. Y'all can all pull all the tactics you want in the world. At the end of the day, a child knows who their mother is. I felt this insecurity when I had a child who was very young. I started work. I mean, my kids were born during lockdown. My first kid was born the day the first lockdown was announced in India. Luckily, I had a Japa maid who was there. Of course, you're very clueless. You don't know what to do, how to do it. So she was helping out to a great extent. I had my whole family here because it was complete lockdown. So I had resumed work in a month and a half after my first delivery. Okay, but there was always the thing where, oh my God, this Japa, she knows what to do if the child is not well. She knows, that this might just be gas or this might be something else. What will I do when I go back to Hong Kong? Because I took my kid back to Hong Kong when things lifted at 7 months, and I was so scared that they're not going to bond with me. They're not, and I had a new person I was taking with me at that time who had no bond with the child. Because the help I had here was for a year. And there was so much as, what if I'm not going to be able to handle them? What if I don't know what to do? What if my child has no connection with me because I've not been around as much? That one flight journey that I made from here to there completely just shifted that for me, because I realized that, at the end of the day, that mother's touch is something that is always going to soothe them the minute we let go of our fears. Even just now, yesterday, my child was running a very high temperature, 3 degrees. Suddenly, out of nowhere, he still has a high temperature. And he only wanted papa, 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 papa. So I gave him that because he wanted his dad at that point. There's something going on in their head also, and we've got to respect that. Just because they don't ask for you in that moment doesn't mean they don't love you. He came at 4:30 in the morning. Then he wanted only, he was like, Mama, this, Mama, is the apple sleeping? Mama, is potato sleeping? I don't know what he was talking. But your child knows you're their mother. You've nurtured them for 9 months. The minute you let go of the fear and the guilt, you will see one of the most loving beings that there is. You will see the bond. You will allow yourself a purer bond that is not need based. And similarly for siblings also, you guys, if you know any kids, never pressure. This is your brother, so you have to do this. Now I'm busy with the other, so I cannot do this. Remove some quality time alone for both of them, even if it's just 10 minutes. And get kids at a young age are excited. Kids like taking responsibility. You'll see all young kids want to do jhadu. Every damn young kid wants to clean a car or do jhadu or do pocha somewhere. I have so many fights at home because my dad's like, you're making your kid do jhadu. I'm like, so what? He made the mess. Let him do it. He likes it. I didn't tell him to do it. I have no problem with my kid doing jhadu. I think it's great. I don't like to do it. Maybe he likes to do it. I'm like, it's just something that fascinates him, you know. Let him, I got him a mini jhadu for his birthday. People were not happy. Okay, but just like, let him do it. It's great. There's no shame in doing it. What if you live in the United States? You're going to do it, right? So it's great. He's doing it at 2 years of age. Let him start early. My house help shouted at me. यही काम कराएगा तुम अपने बच्चे से, झाड़ू पोछा करवाएगा. I'm like, I'm still educating my child. I'm still doing all those other things. But if he does something right, instead of just throwing tantrums and he cleans up something, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, so but the point from that is kids love to help, even though they don't end up helping. They'll clean one thing, then they'll spill another 5 things. Okay, which is fine. But it's to show that when we are in our formative years, everyone, and that is a pattern, they love to help. They love to be of use. Now, when we treat them as kids and we go like, they're too small. You go on the side. You go on the side. You don't know what you're doing. We're instilling the wrong stuff. You don't know what you're doing. You're not capable. Let it be. We're making them the baby of the family. Instead, speak to them. Ask them. Doesn't mean you have to take that opinion. What do you think? Which do you think looks nice? Would you like to help with this? Should we chop vegetables together? Let's go do this together. Now, suddenly the same tasks, and they're so excited to do that. Let them choose an outfit for their sibling. Let them do something like that, because they like being of value. They like adding value. Remember, we all come from this divine thing where we all want to do so much for the planet, so much for humanity. So they like doing that. Let them feel that responsibility. Let them feel proud of it. Next time, I mean, I have my 2-year-old every time. If he might someday, he pushes his brother away the days he's just like, no, he wants his mom. But the other days, if he's in the other room also and baby's like, Mama, baby is crying. Why is baby crying? Or if he sees his bottle around, he will come and get it too. So the minute we stop staying in fear, staying in guilt, and we start treating them with respect, you will see wonders happen. You will unravel a bond which is superb. Okay. Sorry if this went too long. Neha Gupta. Yes. Can we unmute her and have her on the screen?
I wanted to know how we can change the receptor.
We change the receptor by seeing why we hold that receptor. If you're holding on to it, it's for a reason. Right? So tell me, which receptor are you talking about changing? So I'll tell you more specifically.
I'm talking about need-based mom, whenever they require. Otherwise, it's okay.
So see, one of these things, Neha, is I'll tell you, and I'm telling you very honestly, I'll tell you what to do with the technique that's in hand, but that is something which is very genetic also. It's a very genetic receptor that is there. It is a very, you see, it's at multiple levels that we hold that receptor. It's what you have seen around. You also, I mean, being a mother also, you're a nurturer. You want to be around. Now, but A is shifting it at those levels. So when you're doing a healing session, shifting it, if it's a very deeply kept receptor. If it is something that you have the receptor, because 90% of them do. So first step is awareness. Now, if you did not know that this is my receptor and this is what was happening, because every time we did sessions, the sessions were because people had come with issues that were coming up in their life related to that. Now, when you do the session, of course, you're taking them through their own journey, and then you tell them, see, so this is what is happening. Do you want to have a need-based relationship, or would you want to connect with all that that person is? Would you want them to come to you when they just want to have fun, when they just want to bond, when they just want to share something? Or do you want them to come to you when they need you? And of course, it makes a person feel also very used. We love doing it when they're young. But when they turn 10, 12, 20, 25, you're like, okay, when they need something, they're here. And once that is done, they're in their own world. Because most people come when their kids are much older. And now it's really pinching them that that's all they're doing. So the minute so we of course help them shift it through theta work. We help them shift the base belief that is there, replace it, do the downloads for it. But a big part of the change happens when they realize that this is what is happening. Till then, the realization is not there that this is something I'm creating for myself. Awareness, acceptance is a big chunk of the healing. Did you know that you had this pattern till we spoke about it just now? Now that you know, consciously also you're deciding that, okay, you know, I choose to change that now. I choose to change it now. So look at going, okay, and at least in your mind, and I'm telling you conscious tools you can do now. What is the bond you want to have with your child or with anyone, you guys? So with the child, it's the most obvious thing. You could have created this bond with your partner, with your parent also. There are people who are givers and they find value within their life. So many times when it happens that this is a pattern which is everywhere around you, it could be because you might be a big giver and they are constantly taking on other people's problems so they don't have to look at their own. Anyone who has a problem, go to her, you know, she'll help you. She knows what to do within your family, within your friends. But sometimes you sit and think, when my life is coming to it, it's such a mess. As far as taking responsibility of someone else's problem, helping them, you know you're really good at it. And then you feel stuck with your own stuff. That could be because there might be some fear of looking within, and hence your mind keeps you occupied with so many things around you. But as far as your child is concerned, or anywhere, you think about what is the bond I would like. Consciously sit and write down. I want to have fun times with my child. I want to simply bond with them for who they are. I want to have a friendship with my child, whatever it is. Consciously think of it and consciously go like, okay, and this is what I have now. Put that forward. Release the guilt. So if you do see, the thing is, so many things when they're deeper, I can tell you something that'll help now, but a proper release happens in a session or when you know how to use the tool, when you've done the workshop. Because we speak about releasing that guilt. As of now, you can even start with, okay, you know, so I've felt guilty all my life about, you know, whether I'm around enough. You will see, you would have given your 101% and they'll say, come and tell you, I needed you. You were too busy, no? You were too busy doing your own thing. You were too busy going out with your friends when I really needed you. And the other person who's been doing their own thing only, they don't have any problem with them not being around. Because that's not the expectation they've built. So they don't expect anything like that from them. And you feel like, I'll just sit at your beck and call all day. So change that receptor by releasing that guilt. The minute that guilt gets out of your system, the minute that you understand that this is not healthy for them or me. For me, though, it's not healthy, but for them, I'm creating a child who needs a crutch. When they could develop as completely empowered individuals. I could create a child who knows how to take care of their emotions, or I could create a child who has to come back to his mama every time he doesn't know what to do. Which child do I want to create? Which behavior do I want to nurture? You're doing this for the well-being of your own child, so that they're not a person who needs, keeps looking for someone else when they have to progress ahead in life. The minute you understand that, that also takes care of a lot of the guilt. Conscious awareness, shifting it, acknowledging your emotion and saying, I choose to heal it. Doing the B rounds if you know how to do those. It will change things. And do not underestimate the power of realization and acceptance. The fact that you can accept that this is something that's happening in my life is a huge thing that so many people are going through, they're completely oblivious of it. Understanding that you're doing this not just for your own well-being, but majorly also for their well-being. Because these will be individuals who know how to take care of themselves then. They're individuals who look at relationships not because they need something from them. They do not create partnerships ahead in life where, they need a person to help them with it. Because anytime, I need something, it's a very dependent relationship. You've created individuals who are completely empowered, who connect to people now because they don't need anything. So now the people they're connecting to are the people they're connecting to because of the bonds they've created, which is such a wonderful thing to have. I have all these amazing people and we're all in each other's lives because we add value to each other. And when that is the scenario, those are very healthy relationships because they're not need-based. So they will not disappear or become of less value at a certain point in life. Any person I create who needs emotional crutches will create all the relationships in their life around that. Because I have this mother who helps me with this, but I feel like she never understood me. So now I'm going to find a partner who fulfills that need within me to be understood, who fulfills the need within me to be gratified. I'm going to find a friend who does that. So, and then that is a recipe for disaster, right? So know that you're doing this not just for your well-being, but majorly for their well-being, and that'll help you deal with the guilt. That'll help you change the receptor. Acceptance of it will also help you shift it completely. Okay? Do you have clarity on what you were asking?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, and Roma Chabra has asked, what are the B rounds? So it's, I don't know if you've recently joined or you've been around for a while, but the B rounds, the B technique is something. B stands for balanced emotional empowerment. So it's a technique we've developed, which basically helps you unlayer your emotions like an onion peel technique and get to the root of what your issue or what is really bothering you and resolve it. It's a technique where you're resolving as you are understanding what your problem is. We use the energy meridian points of the karate chop, and the statements that are particularly said, while it looks inspired from EFT, it's a lot deeper than that. It's a lot more different than that is what I would say, because every modality has its own depth. But we do the B rounds to a great extent when we're doing our daily Theta sessions as a way of release. So most people here have experienced them. But when we talk about learning the modality, it's completely different, because here we take you all through the first round, because it's a group setting. How I do it in a group setting is going to be completely different from how I have to do it for an individual. On an individual level, we get through a layer of emotion that is really heavy. We release it. And then we look to see what is the next layer and then release that. And then the third layer and then release that. So sometimes when our emotions, or when we're in any situation where, we do not know what to do, even we practice Theta healing, past life regression, hypnosis, all of it. But why did we develop the B technique is because sometimes when you're really in the middle of an issue, you don't want to be asked questions. You do not want to look in. You just want to say it for what it is. You just want to vent. But this is a technique where you're releasing as you're venting and going a layer deeper and healing yourself. So it was for the times that you're completely blank and confused as well, because it helps you to change that part. Okay. You will be experiencing, if you're going to be a regular here, you will definitely experience it very soon. Amrita said, it's difficult for me as well to set boundaries. They don't listen to me as I'm strict with them, and others are very liberal, so they go to others. So boundaries is something a lot of you have spoken about. I will just check. I feel like we've done a week on boundaries. I'm not sure. If we've not, then, and this time, of course, people have written about it as far as kids are concerned. See, so it's very liberal, very strict. I'm telling you, you could do anything possible. But as a mother, you're always going to feel like, am I doing this right? Because there'll always be compared. There'll be so many people telling you so many things. And you're going to feel such a bunch of emotion that is there. And as moms, I want you guys to feel empowered in knowing that every emotion is normal. And one mother is too liberal, so she's condemned for that. One mother is too strict, so she's condemned for that. One mother is sort of constantly around their kid and doing everything for their kid, is still breastfeeding them when they're 3 years old. And so she's told that, oh, you're too, you're like coddling your kid. The other mother, and there's nothing wrong with a mother breastfeeding at 3, okay? The other mother has decided that she wants to take a pumping route and, let her, like, it's still her milk, her child is going to be fed. So she can actually balance the remaining aspects of her life. And she's being told, oh, you're not attached enough, you have help. Every approach is going to be called wrong to a certain extent. Until we feel guilty, we add fuel to that fire and we let it affect our well-being. The only mother a child needs is a happy mother. Do what you need to make yourself happy. And I know it's a lot easier said than done, because all of us go through that. I'm in India. Everyone wants to pamper the kids. Everyone wants to feed them cake and ice cream 24/7. They go like, oh, and I'm not even a very strict mother. I'm chill with my child eating chocolate. But the thing is that, I mean, at a certain point, I have to still look at if my child is going to have a sugar rush and I'm going to have to deal with it later. I tell people, if you cause the sugar rush, please keep them. Keep them for the night. Doesn't happen. But the thing is that at a certain point, whenever you're putting your foot down, there's going to be resistance. I know I'm going to deal with the consequences of, the kids being so pampered when they're here. When I go back, when it's going to be lesser people, when they're not going to ask for something and there's so many people around to give it to them. But you work with your bond with your child. You work on communicate, even if you feel like the people around me do not get it, do not understand. You work on that bond with that is a relationship of respect. That is a relationship of love. And releasing any things that you may be holding on to. Do you want to say hi to Zivan? He's just come, so I'll just have him say hi. He's just knocking over here. Wait, I'll just have him say hi. Come.
Oh, Mama comes.
You want to say hi, everybody?
Hi.
How are you feeling? See, there's so many people. Everyone is saying hi to Zivan. How are you feeling?
Oh.
Okay, so don't worry about it. You work on your own guilt and everything will be all right. We will do one thing. Since we've done the week on boundaries, we'll have that sort of playlist pulled up, share it back over here, go through it over the weekend, see if there's anything more that you need addressed, because of course we've also been doing sessions for a year, so we lose track of what all we may have spoken about in those sessions. So if you feel there's more that needs to be addressed, because boundaries is a very universal topic that comes in every area of our lives. Am I able to set my boundaries for work, with my kids, with my partner, with my parents, everywhere? So if you feel that there is something more you need addressed over there, you have the weekend, it's a perfect time. Let us know so that we can take that up then. Okay? Oh, they are happy. Yes. Okay. So yes, and release the guilt, you guys. You're doing fantastic. All right. Let's just see whatever downloads come in. We've done boundaries. I think one of them confirmed. We'll just check. If we've not done it, we'll do it. If we've done it, we'll share the week with you and we'll see what to do ahead from there. So don't worry. We have 2 days. We'll figure it out today and then you'll have the weekend to figure it. Okay. So let's see. I'll come down. So would you each like to have the download that I know and understand the creator's definition and perspective of what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for me to accept myself wholly, completely, and beautifully for who I am and for how I play the roles that I have in life, to know that I am safe and complete, to know that I allow myself to acknowledge myself for all that I do and for all that I am, to know that it is safe and possible for me to move beyond any limitations I may have created for myself because of societally painted roles that I feel the need to stick by, to know and understand that every role that I am playing in my life, whether that's of a mother, whether that's of a wife, whether that's of a father, whether that's of a grandfather, whether that's any role at all that I am playing in life, to know and understand that each person is unique. And I understand uniqueness as per the creator of all that is his definition and perspective. And as each of us are unique, the way we mold ourselves in each of those roles is unique as well. And I know now what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for me to find the best fit for this role that I am to play within my life now, and to allow myself to be true to who I am, to be true to my nature and my originality, and play the roles that I play in the manner best suited to me, to release the need within me to have fear and guilt be the dominant emotions that are ruling my relationships and how I go ahead with my relationships. And that to release the need within me to allow fear, guilt, or worry, or uh, group consciousness to be what dictates the nature of my relationships and the actions that I take, to allow myself now to be more in connection and in tune with who I truly am, to be more in connection and in tune with my intuition and my intuitive way of playing each of these roles, and knowing that it is safe and possible for me to do so, and I choose to do so, that I know what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for me to bring out my best qualities, whether those be of nurturing, whether those be of being able to find solutions in life, anything at all, to be able to bring those forward for myself in a manner that is holistic, in a manner that is balanced, in a manner where I choose to help people, or where I choose to do any of these things, and where I choose to bring out these qualities within myself in the best manner forward, without the need in me to feel like these characteristics within my being, within my nature, are who I am. I understand that these are qualities I have, not who I am. So I know what it feels like to bring those qualities forward within my life, within my relationships, in the best manner possible, where it is a choice within my life rather than a compulsion where I have to be a helpful person, I have to be responsible, I have to be a certain way. So knowing and understanding that when we come out of the space of compulsion is because of the feeling of that being all of who we are, but understanding now that this is an element of who I am, and I allow myself to shine completely for who I am, to develop bonds and relationships within my space and around me that come from this energy of wholeness and completion as well, that I am empowered and I choose to create balance and empowerment within and around me at all times. To know what it feels like, to know that life is a choice and that we make choices every single day, and that it is within my rights, and it is safe and possible for me to shift any of the choices that I choose to at this given point, to for as I move forward to a better life, a more empowered life, and a clearer frame of mind, that I allow myself to make this shift and change now, to know that I am empowered and I radiate empowerment and balance within and all around me. Would you like these downloads into every cell, atom, molecule of your body, every area of your life, at all four levels of your belief system, for your highest and best, and in your highest and best manner, in any and every language ever known or understood by you? Say yes to receive the downloads. Okay. So we did not do particularly motherhood related downloads, but everything that we've spoken about, because that holds true for every relationship that we have. Let your qualities be your choice. Do not let that be all of who you are. The reason that we act out of our best qualities all the time, the reason you have to be so helpful, you're this overly helpful person who has to, take charge of everyone's life, is because we make our qualities, we mistake our qualities for who we are. Who is this person? She's a helpful person. So the minute we don't have anyone to help, we start having an identity crisis, because if I'm not doing that, what am I really doing? Who is she? She's a very good mom. She's always there for kids. So when my kids don't need me, we start creating situations such, we start wondering what to do with our lives, because I'm a good mom. So now if my children are doing their own, then where does that leave me? These are qualities within you. These are not who you are. Okay. So if nothing today, go like I am and say your name. And I allow myself to experience that, because you're a multitude of things. Take this point in, go back to the video, hear the downloads again if you need to, because as I was doing the downloads, there was one major thing that was coming in. Your qualities are not who you are. You are a lot more than that. The minute you understand that, a lot of the insecurity that comes, a lot of the need to overcompensate that's there, which a lot of us have, can go. It's been 1 hour. We really got to wrap up. So have a good weekend. We share the boundaries week and hear the downloads again once you've taken this point in. And if I get the chance, I'll also share the reel that I have. And we take care. Have a fabulous